What is this? It doesn't look like a console. It definitely doesn't look like a console. It looks more like a box of cereal. But this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a golden Nintendo Famicom Mini. As you can see by the golden Nintendo Famicom Mini on it. I had no idea this thing existed. Did you? I'm sure some of you did. I'm sure everybody in Japan did, because that's where this thing was exclusive to. But for the rest of the world, I had no idea that this thing existed. What is it? Well, it's a golden Nintendo Famicom Mini. You know, the thing that was released a few years back? This one is the exact same thing, just golden. Or is it? Because there's actually some differences with this thing. There's actual software differences. This thing comes with a bunch of different games, predominantly sort of... I'm going to get this wrong. I'm very nervous to actually start talking about this thing because I'm sure I'm going to get some of the terminology wrong and people are going to be very upset with me. But basically, this thing commemorates the 50th anniversary of Shonen Jump, which was a weekly manga magazine thing that was released in Japan. It's been around for a very long time, more than 50 years, I can guarantee it. And yeah, this basically has a bunch of games on it, whereby the sort of the manga of those games were featured in this magazine. So I'm sure that was probably slightly wrong, but that is the basic idea of it. It's got some actual software differences, as I mentioned, and it's also going to be golden. I'm very excited to open it up. Before we do it though, massive thank you to Surfshark VPN for sponsoring this video. If you don't know what a VPN is, you're either Patrick Star or you're winding me up. And I don't appreciate that. A VPN stands for Very Pricey Nintendo, and what Surfshark does is it scours the internet for all of the best Nintendo deals. Sorry, what's that? Harold, you got it wrong again. Get back in the cave. Man, that guy has one job. Virtual Private Network. Secure your online data. If you're sat in McDonald's using their public Wi-Fi and you go to check your online banking, well, to be honest, you deserve to get hacked. A VPN encrypts all of your data when you're using public Wi-Fi and secures you from potential hackers. It does this by routing your data through one of Surfshark's 3,200 plus servers all around the world using a secure, unhackable TARDIS that flies its way through hyperspace, carrying your nudes. And that is how Doctor Who was invented. A VPN can also bypass network censorship and allow you to access regional exclusive content like a Netflix series that you want to watch but you can't access in your country. Click on the link in the description or my pinned comment and use code ELLIOTC for 83% off plus 3 months extra for free. Plus Surfshark are offering a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you've got absolutely nothing to lose. Get secure now. So, let's take a little look at this thing. So you can see it's sort of designed to look a little bit like a big manga book, which is really cool. I like the fact that on this little side piece, you've got the modern Nintendo red strip, because besides that, it's really not that clear what this thing actually is. But yeah, that just sort of hones it in to remind you that this thing is a modern Nintendo product. I believe it was released in around about 2018, and I'm fairly certain this is going to have everything in it which the regular Nintendo Famicom Mini came with, except this one is going to be golden. I've said that quite a lot of times, but I think it's because it's the main point of this thing. So yeah, 50 years commemorating it. I love that artwork. Japan just has always got the most colourful of artwork, and it's absolutely gorgeous. When this thing was first released, it was very expensive to try and buy in the UK, but now the prices have come down quite a lot. So let's see what we've got inside. This one, I think, is actually brand new, which is really damn cool. So we have an HDMI cable. We've got a micro USB cable, and that is it in there. We've also got the manual, which I'm fairly certain... Wow, okay, that's actually quite cool. Even the manual itself is a Shonen Jump version. You can see there's the logo of it right there. And I'm sure that right there says 50th or something like that. So that's really cool. We've got a couple of small little bits of documentation. This thing has the serial number of the unit on it, which is really cool. And then we have the actual Famicom console itself. So let's take a look at that beautiful gold color. Boom. Look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. Now, there is one massive pitfall to this console, and that is that it's obviously going to be all in Japanese, and all of these games pretty much are RPG games. So it's going to be completely useless to me, other than the fact that it's a collectible thing, which is quite cool. The controllers are completely standard, exactly the same as the controllers that came on the regular Famicom Mini, but just look at how beautiful that thing is. They were released in quite a large quantity. They're pretty cheap now to buy on Japanese auction sites like Sendico and stuff, but at the very least, it's a very cool thing. And if you wanted to get a little bit crafty, I suppose you could open it up and put the innards of a regular Famicom Mini inside it, and then you'd have yourself a nice golden Famicom Mini to put out on display. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that make it exclusive, besides the fact that it's golden and it's got these games on the back of it. I'll put those games up on the screen. I would have already done that as well, I'm sure. But some of the things that this thing has, which the other one doesn't, is the loading screen has a slightly different background to it, which is interesting, I know. And it also plays music from the games that are on the actual unit in just different sort of cycles of it. And when this thing idles, like I think if you just don't use it for a little while, it will display a graphic of the intro to Famicom Jump, which was Shonen Jump's Famicom game that they released. Lots of cool little Easter eggs. Nintendo loves them with all of their latest and greatest little handhelds and stuff like that. So yeah, there we have it. The golden Famicom Mini. It's not really the most interesting of things. It's just golden. But I really like the fact that it exists, and I'm all about documenting random stuff that we didn't really know about existing. The Famicom Mini is brilliant. I love it. I really enjoy playing the actual Japanese games. I also enjoy my NES Mini, but I'm not sure I'm going to get a great deal of use out of this just because I don't really know any of these games very well, and I also can't read Japanese, so playing RPG games is going to be completely and utterly impossible. I hope you have all enjoyed this video showcasing something that you've probably never heard of. It's golden, it's cool, it's mini, it's a Famicom. I'm going to put it back in the box though and never play it ever again.